We're going to go into our news of the week. That's one of the reasons you tune in for Gromaha. We have a lot of growth and development news, and we're going to thank Eagle Mortgage for making it possible. They have been sponsoring us now for about 9 to 10 years. And we really appreciate Eagle Mortgage being loyal to Gromaha, to Gromaha listeners, making this possible for thousands of people every week on KFAB to get the news. And speaking of Eagle Mortgage, if you are in the market for a new house, either now or sometime in the next year or so, one of the first things you want to do is contact Holly Schneiderwind or one of her team members at Eagle Mortgage. The office is at 114th and Davenport. You can find them online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Sit down with them, talk with them. They are not a bank. They're a mortgage broker, which means they can shop and comparison price a variety of banks to find the one that's best for you. And it doesn't matter whether you're going traditional loan or one of the specialty loans or VA, FHA, whatever. They'll help you with it. They'll do a great job. eaglemortgagecompany.com. Okay, Trenton, really cool project is coming before the city planning board. Multifamily apartment project and a hotel are planned for the southeast corner of 132nd and Pacific. Now, this development, as you know, is called Sterling Ridge.
Absolutely. Lockwood Development.
Lockwood Development has done an outstanding job making it. You can make an argument that when it comes to visual aesthetics, it's probably one of the, handful of best-looking developments in Omaha.
And when you take 156 acres and make it a mixed-use development, and you spend about $2 million on landscaping with mature trees, that helps.
Yeah, it's a very, very attractive area. It's very pleasant, and it's famous for a few things. It is the home of LinkedIn's regional headquarters. They have the Tri-Faith campus there. A lot of cool restaurant retail. At any rate, if you can picture it, there was one part of it that has been yet to be developed, and it's the southeast corner of 132nd Pacific, which would be the northwest corner of the development. And so the plan calls for a 5-story, 145-room hotel that would be right on that hard corner. 5-story, 145-room hotel. City documents do not indicate the brand of the hotel. They might not even know, as far as we know. But then right behind that, or to the south of that, would be a 6-story building that would have 250 apartment units. Those 250 apartment units would be on 4 stories up top, and then the bottom would be 2 stories of indoor parking plus some street level retail space. Now that retail space would have 12,000 square feet for stores and shops and about 14,000 square feet for a restaurant.
The size of a Walgreens, ladies and gentlemen.
Big restaurant. Well, we have not heard official documentation that Ruth's Chris is going to be the restaurant. However, one of the attached documents to the proposal that was submitted to the planning board, public documents, shows a 13,543 square foot Ruth's Chris Steakhouse restaurant that would have enough seating for 380 diners. So it appears, if they put that on there, the likelihood that it is Ruth's Chris is very good.
Right.
And otherwise, it'd be kind of embarrassing for them to put that on there. The closest existing Ruth's Chris is in West Des Moines, Iowa. I've been to that one. It's new, very nice. Kansas City had one for a long time, but it closed several years ago. Other than that, there's Ruth's Chris's in Denver and Minneapolis.
Do you remember them that big, though, Jeff?
They are now. Like that newish one I went to in Des Moines, Iowa. I was there about a year ago, right when it opened. It's huge. It's huge. Now, I was in one a couple days ago out of state, and it was not so big. But at any rate, that's going to be a nice addition. This hotel and an apartment right there makes a lot of sense.
I think they need condos there as well.
That's, I think Omaha needs more condos in a lot of places.
And Lockwood's talked about it. It's really expensive to build condos and mixed-use developments like this when you're going vertical with different food groups, when you have retail, parking, office, retail. But what was interesting is, this site, I believe, had COVID never happened and people stayed in their offices, that probably would have been another office tenant like
Yeah, I think it was
LinkedIn.
slated to be a nice big Class A office building.
Yeah, and but times
Originally.
change. But I think you need daytime and nighttime. If you want restaurants and you want 24/7, we've talked about that too much. Like probably where Village Point, there was always talk about doing condo towers, or there's other developments like Village Point that also did a lot of residential. Not just hotels.
Village Point totally missed the opportunity to put apartments and condos above those stores. It would have been a home run. It was a blown opportunity that they didn't do that. But when they built Village Point, it was back in 2003, and people in Omaha weren't thinking that way like they are now.
Because if you have active living, and when Heartwood Preserve comes online, and when Lanahaw builds that whole complex there,
That area called the Row.
the row, and think about it. There's no better place if you're 55 and over. Let's say I guess 65 is the new 55 or something like that. If you're going to live and not want to drive, and you can go to restaurants, and you're active seniors, you want to be in an area where it's like an urban feel, but with a lot of landscaping.
Something I've been curious about with all of the momentum we have downtown. Speaking of, independent living, over 55 living, or whatever you want to call it. I've always wondered if something like that would be good in downtown, because a lot of people like that whole downtown lifestyle. What if they had a 55 and over thing where most of it was independent, but then there would maybe, as you got older, there could be assisted living or something
Continual
like that.
care. Continual.
Yeah, that I think they call it age in place, and I don't know if it makes sense to have memory care in a place like that, but might be too expensive. But an interesting thought. I've always thought, with all the momentum downtown, people might like that down there.
Well, I like 132nd and Pacific is great, but I also think like Village Point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a condo tower around Village Point that you can walk to things, kind of by the Kent Stinson Park. To the west of that, I think there's some land.
Stinson Park, that's Exarban, right?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
Exarban Village.
Yeah.
Do that. And because that has so much mixed use there.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. Well, continuing with the theme of big apartment buildings that are proposed, a developer plans to build multifamily buildings in Old Mill South. This would be at 10842 and 10826 Farnham Drive. Now, where is that? Picture the big Charles Schwab office building, and then it's 12 stories or so. Right to the east of that are two-story Charles Schwab buildings that are no longer occupied. And in between them is a 4-story, nearly 400-stall parking garage. Well, here's the plan. Tear down those two-story office buildings, keep the parking garage, and then on the side of each of those two-story office buildings would be 2 4-story apartment buildings. Altogether, it would have, let's see, I don't have a number of oh, yep, I do. 327 apartment units total, mix of 1 to 3 bedroom, market rate. They would also have outdoor pickleball courts because, Trenton, as you like to say, you can't have anything without pickleball courts today.
I'm looking for a dentist with a pickleball court while I'm waiting.
Oh, I wouldn't go to a dentist without a pickleball. Oop, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah, your brother has.
My brother's a dentist, and he has no pickleball court at his office. But I'm sure that'll change.
Who's the developer on that one? Do you know?
I could find out and let you know next week.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that assignment. But there's an example where there's not a lot of amenities around there.
No.
And where are you going to walk to? And you got great views of the interstate.
Yeah, see, that's interesting because the one that Lockwood's doing that would have a Ruth's Chris in it also has access to all that other retail that's boom right there walking.
Right.
Old Mill South. So even though this would be 4-story buildings, connected to an existing parking garage, a little bit of urbanity there, it would still definitely be a suburban lifestyle because you would have to have a car to get anywhere.
And I'm not knocking it, but it's almost like, well, office is soft, but we got this really cool parking garage. What can we do with a really cool parking garage? Oh, I know.
Well, but on the other hand, as we know,
And we're pro-development here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, don't forget, data came out just about a month and a half ago that there are 13 tenants competing for every available rental unit in Omaha, Nebraska, you could make the argument we need to be putting apartments in a lot of places just to have places for people to live.
Understood.
Yeah. All right. We've got more and more news items for you. Going to talk about, got some good news out of downtown Omaha for growth and development. The city council this week approved tax increment financing for a combined $25 million of affordable housing projects. 2 affordable housing projects downtown. Both would involve the renovation of historic buildings. The group is led by Neeraj Agrawal of Clarity Development. The first building is at 1501 Howard Street. You might not even notice this. It's directly... It's kind of an underwhelming brick building. It's historic, of course. It's right west of the Central Police headquarters. It's been vacant for a long time. And the plan is to put 15 or 16 16 apartments on the upper floors and street level retail. And then the second building is just a few blocks to the west at 500 South 18th Street. It's called the Standard Oil Building. It's part of what we've been calling lately the Flatiron District, the neighborhood around the Flatiron Building. Anyway, this would be 40 apartments on the upper 5 floors and street level on retail on the ground floor. Not a huge number of units, especially with some of the urban core projects we've talked about lately, Trenton, but we desperately need more affordable housing in the core.
People on our Facebook page definitely talk about the need for affordable housing. There's a lot of people out there that think that all the apartments that are getting built are just way too high. But there are options for affordable housing, and taking these areas and making them more dense in population helps everything. With the streetcar going ahead, with the more retail, with all the entertainment options, with the park and everything, Omaha's stakeholders have done an amazing job, almost unlike any other city, to just really make downtown more vibrant. Ronnie Chang, a comedian, is at the Steel House tonight, which is cool. I'm going to go see the Steel House for the first time. Have you been there?
I've never set foot in the place yet, and I've been wanting to. I just haven't gotten around to it. But I like how you took us from affordable housing to comedians. That's pretty cool.
No problem.
Yeah. So you're going?
Yep.
All right. Well, enjoy that show. Hey, a local company, or I should say an Omaha-based company that's all over the nation, Scooters Coffee, has teamed up with Hasbro, the toy and game company, and they have come up with Candyland coffee beverages. Remember the board game Candyland when you were a little kid? So they've got these beverages that are all branded with Candyland, kind of clever deal they've got going on there. I've got some other business news for you. The Omaha Airport Authority announced this week that Allegiant will offer seasonal nonstop service from Eppley Airfield to Sarasota, Florida. It'll start February 14th. Allegiant currently offers nonstop service from Eppley to Las Vegas, LAX, Orlando Sanford, Phoenix Mesa, and several cities in Florida. Now, if you count the destinations that Allegiant has to Florida, plus all of the other airlines that serve Florida, Omaha will, come February 14th, have nonstop service from Eppley to 9 different Florida cities.
Wow.
That's progress.
A lot of people are moving to Florida.
They are, and a lot of people vacation there
back
as well.
to the Candyland Scooters partnership.
Okay.
I have an idea for Stories Coffee because they've been growing lately, based here.
Love Stories Coffee.
They should do a collaboration with the Game of Life.
Why?
Do you remember that game where you spin the wheel? And I don't know how you would
tie it to stories.
Tie it to, but like all your different life events and things like that. And it's very family oriented. I haven't fully developed the concept yet.
Yeah, get back to us next week after you flesh that one out.
So we both have an assignment, apparently.
Yeah, flesh that one out a little bit because I think there's potential there. I like where you're going.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the airport, shall we? Other airport news. Thanksgiving holiday weekend is one of the biggest travel periods of the year, as we know. And the Omaha Airport Authority this week said that it expects 185,800 travelers to go through the Eppley terminal during the next week. That's approximately 2.7% more than last year. So, Trenton, I like to play Stump the Trenton.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we've got a handful of days on the Thanksgiving holiday. We've got Wednesday,
Yeah.
before. We've got Thanksgiving itself. We've got Black Friday. And we have Saturday after Thanksgiving, okay? And then we have Sunday. The Sunday when it's all said and done, you're kind of depressed because the Thanksgiving holiday's over and you got to go back to real life.
And listen to Christmas music.
I like Christmas music. Out of those 5 days, which one will be the busiest travel day at Epley this year? So out of the 5 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, stump the Trenton, which one will be the number one busiest day?
I am going to say, and I don't know why, Thanksgiving Day itself.
Thanksgiving itself is not even in the top 3. I'll give you one more chance to get it right.
All right. We're not including Sunday, right?
No, Sunday's in there.
Okay. I will say Wednesday.
You should have guessed Sunday. Okay, number 1 is Sunday, December 1st. is supposed to be the busiest day. Tuesday, November 26th will be the second busiest day at Epley. And Wednesday, the day prior to Thanksgiving, number 3.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.